What up, everybody? It's your buddy Josh hanging out, waiting to hear how the Bruins lose tonight. Got my Boston shirt on. Sure the Bruins are going to lose. Actually, I predict a Bruins win, and I know I'm jinxing myself by doing that because typically, if you're a true Boston sports fan, born in the 70s, raised up in the 70s, 80s, you have to assume your team is going to lose. You have no confidence, but I cannot see the Bruins going down 2 straight years after being up 3-1. It's never happened before in NBA, NHL, or Major League Baseball. It's never happened before. I just can't see the Bruins losing 2 straight years where they're up 3-1. I just can't see it happen. So I think the Bruins are going to lay the smack down on the Leafs tonight, but I will not be stunned if by the time we're done here, the Bruins have already packed up and headed to golf season. Let's see the Bees, because now the Leafs, on the other hand, they've lost, I think, 6 or 7 straight Game 7s. So there's a lot of at stake. One team is going to go back into just horrendous chaos. It's got to be the Leafs, right? It's got to be. I mean, last year the Bruins were up 3-1 against freaking Tampa, against Florida. Marie's got money, mutual fund and brokerage account, which I do. Hey, what's up, Pam? Marie, well, you got to make sure you don't have capital gains in there, Marie. So Marie says, I got a mutual fund and a brokerage account. You got to make sure you don't have unrealized capital gains. If you don't have unrealized, it doesn't pay dividends and income. If it doesn't pay dividends and income, who cares? I mean, not all mutual funds are bad in this regard. Some don't pay much dividends and income, but if it does, then you want to move that out. The way you do it is you sell it, but you got to make sure you don't sell it and take a tax hit. So if you have $40,000 of unrealized gains, you sell it, well, then you created a tax consequence for sure. So anyway, come on, anyway. So last year, then Marchand had a break with 4 seconds left in Game 5, and he couldn't sink it on third period. He couldn't sink it. Went into OT. We lost on home ice. Went to Florida, we lose. Game 7, OT, we lose on home ice. So we win Game 1, lose Game 2 at home, go to the Florida, win both Games 3 and 4, come back, lose Game 5 in OT. Game 7 in OT. Game 1, we win at home. Game 2, we lose at home. Game 3 and 4, we win on the road in Toronto. Game 5, we lose on home ice in OT. Game 6, we lose in Toronto. Game 7, to be determined. I don't know. It's kind of scary. FXAIX. I don't know what that is. FX. Benny! 1 second. Let's look at FXAIX. No holds barred. No holds barred. FXAIX. 1 second. FXAIX. Yeah, it's not the S&P. So Pam's got the S&P 500 index from Fidelity and a brokerage account. Let me get my dog. Hold on a second. Come on, let's go, baby. Hey, come. Come here. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on, puppy. There we go. Good. There we are. There we are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why don't you just hang out? Just chill. So that's just the S&P 500. So it's not going to have hardly any dividends and hardly any capital gains in there. So that wouldn't be something you want to move. If you have like an actively managed fund that has a lot of dividends, then that's what we want to do for sure. And a lot of income for sure. Get Christy out of here. I'm not sure who you talk about. Christy. Oh, Christy Noam. Yeah, dude, crazy. A man here says, Pulverizer says, no holds bar like the figure 4 leg lock, and then finish off with a Steiner screwdriver. Josh, I watched several people on YouTube. I sure enjoy your real experience and humor. You answer questions that I haven't even asked. Thanks for all your posts. I don't miss any of them. Well, thank you, Drew. We got Pulverizer back. There's Kevin Hawthorne. We got Pulverizer back. Talking about trying to figure 4 leg lock with me. And it sounds kind of feminine, if you know what I'm saying. It sounds kind of feminine. No holds bar. Woohoo, says, hi, there's Chucky B. Got Fast Eddie who thinks I dye my hair. dude, do not say, oh my, all right, we got to put you in timeout, Broken Arrow. How I hate, may the fourth be with you. That is so stupid. Actually, I got to put him in time. So you're in timeout, Broken Arrow, for 5 minutes. How long do I put you? Oh man, I don't want to do that. So I banned him. I didn't want to ban the guy. I was just being. How do I unban him? Wait, how do I unban him? Wow, that's not what I wanted to do. Private chat. I like Broken Arrow. It's just goofy. I thought I hit timeout. How the hell do I get him out of that? Ah, dude, I like my man Broken Arrow. How do I get him out of there? Oh man. How do I don't know how to get you back out of that Broken Arrow. I don't know how I thought I just put you in timeout. I thought I could do a timeout for for just like 5. I thought I could choose how long I could time out somebody for. Hey man, there's gotta be a way to fix that. Right? Settings, new studio. Man. Yeah, it's all fun and games, so I go ban it. But I didn't think I was banning him. I just thought it says right here, put user in timeout. That's what I said. I didn't ban him. It says ban 300 seconds. All right, sweet. Well, yeah, I didn't. I said put user in timeout. I didn't say ban him. I was just goofing on for saying may the fourth be with you. Broken Arrow's good. Oh, Jill likes Broken Arrow. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Playing with a loaded band hammer. Yep. All right, good. So there's a loaded band hammer. Exactly, man. Yeah, Broken Arrow's a good guy. I was just being silly because there's a Finnegan. You're killing me. Just relax. Just stop. It's okay. Just go lay down, baby. Just go lay down. I was going to show you guys something that I want to see if my man comes back here. If I make fun of you down here, are you going to get banned me? No, the fourth be with you is so stupid. It's so dumb. Anyone that says it needs to be banned for 300 seconds. I mean, how long is 300 seconds? All right, so here's my man, Box Day. This is funny. I post this on my Facebook page, on my Twitter, because I'm on Twitter now because I'm cool like that. Owen Benjamin comments that on May the 4th, all right? Owen Benjamin comments on the nerdiest fake holiday since Kwanzaa was invented. To celebrate May the 4th, we should all appreciate what a boomer institution Star Wars is. Luke forsook his rural upbringing to take part in a political campaign he had no place in. Leia was a strong independent feminist. Obi-Wan was a childless hippie who devoted his life to Eastern mysticism. Han is a wandering deadbeat who lives with his dog and is obsessed with his car. Darth Vader abandoned his family to pursue his career. The robots the robots are in an openly gay relationship. Everyone treats the Empire like the great evil while fully enjoying the comforts and protection it provides. In retrospect, Star Wars may have been a much darker commentary on the realities of Clone Wars politics than most of us realized at that time. Yeah, what I'm saying. Now, here's that guy, Samuel Jack. That is so funny, man. R2-D2 and C-3PO are in an openly gay relationship. And there's that guy right there, the Samuel Jackson character, who says, now, if I understand you correctly, Jin, I sent you off on a diplomatic mission, and you've come back with a 9-year-old slave boy that you claim to have bought from a Toydarian junk dealer. Yeah. And you joined the SFWR, didn't you? Anyway, the force is strong. Oh, my goodness. I know Gabe. Oh, my goodness. I know that's a Star Wars saying, Brad. It's so stupid. The fourth be with you. I'm like, oh. I never thought Star Wars was all that a bag of chips, man. I don't get the whole thing, man. The robots are in a openly gay relationship. And I like this one, too. Han Solo is a wandering deadbeat who lives with his dog and is obsessed with his car. Oh my goodness. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a childless hippie who devoted his life to Eastern mysticism. Oh my god, that is so funny. Hey, we got my man from Tennessee here, Bruce Murray. No, what's the guy's name? Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Bill Murray says he retired on January 14th from full-time nursing. Now I work occasionally when I want to for wine and travel. I'm busy. I have no idea. However, I work 3 12-hour shifts. Yeah, he did it because that wasn't Pablo. Yeah, you didn't hear Pablo, Brad. That was old Finnegan. There, he's a good boy. There's a good boy. Liam's upstairs watching the Nuggets and Timberwolves, and he fell asleep on the couch. So Finney's like trying to get upstairs because he wanted to come downstairs before. Yeah, John's never a big Star Wars fan. I never got it. All right, so let's see 300 seconds. Star Wars. Oh, so stupid. Like these guys like love Star Wars, man. It's just so bad. I don't know who you ever got. So hoping Broken Arrow gets that was I made it. I didn't mean to ban him. I just like put him in timeout for just being silly, but I was just goofing. I wasn't being true. All right, so a couple things. If you guys got thoughts or comments or some or questions you want me to address, put them in. Pablo got banned too. That's right, Penelope. And Star Trek too, man. Stupid. Star Wars and Star Trek. Now, Twilight Zone, fantastic. Star Wars, Star Trek, stupid. You know, I think there was one Star Trek episode that I want to watch where, like, I guess he gets knocked out, like the captain, whatever his name is, the bald guy, gets knocked out for like 15 minutes or something like that. He's on a different life path or something like that, where he's living in a different dimension or something. I can't remember. I haven't seen it because I'm not. Let's just put it this way. Hey, we got Ted. What's up, Ted? Yeah, I mean, it was really bad, really bad. Battlestar, no, never got into that. Yeah, exactly. Mark Hamill went to visit Emperor Palpatine. Exactly, Bruce. No, never got into that, Brad, because I like the ladies. All right. If you don't like the ladies, you get into this stuff. You get into Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, Star Trek. When you like women, you don't like that stuff. The real men like Napoleon Dynamite, Back to the Future. All right, those are the movies we like, and Twilight Zone. The ladies, the lady guys. You know what I'm saying, no, what? No, no. Benny, come here. Say hi to everybody, Benny. Come here. Come here. No. Come here over here. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Come here. Everybody wants to see you. Yeah, that's definitely not Pablo. Oh, hold on a second. All right, let's go. We're gonna come on. So somebody take him upstairs. I'll take you guys with me. There we go. Oh my goodness. He's like, I want to see Pablo. He does not like being separated from Pablo. There. He does not like being separated from Pablo. There we go. There we go. It's actually kind of funny. So we went to Red Robin tonight. Kevin's at work. Maddie is with her boyfriend in Washington, D.C. It's just me, Chloe, Liam, and my wife, Charlotte. And we went to Red Robin for a family outing. There he is. Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. 5-minute major. Oh, man. And we come back, and Finney's going nuts like Rockies versus Rangers. Might be watchable. What are you talking about? You talking about the Avs? Anyway, so 5-minute major. Yeah. Anyway, so we got back, and Finney was just like, "Where have you guys been? Where have you been?" He's such a lonely boy. It's funny. All right. Yeah, Avalanche. So I want to show you. I thought this was a pretty interesting article I came across today. We're going to bring it up if I can. Yes, we can. All right. He's back. He's back in the saddle again. He's back. This is pretty interesting, actually. Where are my Broad Street Bulls? They didn't make the playoffs, man. Sorry. They got to make the playoffs. We didn't know Red Robin burger joint thing was a thing out there. I don't want to say it's the thing, but It's okay. We've been to Red Robin a bunch of times. We haven't been in a couple of years. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. All right, so let's check a look at this article. The Social Security cost of living forecast for 2025 exposes a flaw that may shock retirees. And it's very interesting, actually. It's not really that big of a flaw, but I'm going to show you real quick. Because remember what they do with Social Security, they just take what the COLA is going to be. Hey, Loudoun County, right on. The boys are back, and the boys are back. The boys are back. Wait, how the hell does that song go? I'm just a cowboy. That's not that song. That's a good song. I'm just a cowboy. Something. I love Cobb salad at Red Robin. I think that's what my wife got. Yeah. Anyway, so with Social Security, what they do is they take your CPI is based on the third quarter. That's it. So your whole CPI is reflected in the third quarter. So if the third quarter is low, your CPI for Social Security is low. And so what Motley Fool did here is because Motley Fool's got to get. What's up, Joey? Joey Torres. Oh, look at those little pups. Right on, man. And Lizzie. I know who that song sung. The song. I'm just a cowboy. I don't know. Oh, the hell's that song? You know what I'm talking about. I'm just a cowboy. Strong and true. Cowboy song. Love it. Oh, yeah. Is that what's called? Cowboy song? All right, so we're going to look this up. I don't care what anybody says. That's a good song. Cowboy song. Let's look it up. Cowboy song. Yeah, there it is. Hell no, I'm not watching the game. No way I can watch the game. Right here. I'll say. Because I'm a Boston fan from the 70s and 80s, and I did not like the Celtics. So if you don't like the Celtics, you like the Pats, the Bruins, and the Red Sox, you can't be a Boston fan. So you can't watch the games because you'll jinx them. That's all there is to it. Kirk, you are now banned. Fool. You are now. It's not good for the ticker. Exactly. Look, if I watch the game, they're going to lose. I remember I'm just most of them a Starry Night, Campfire Light, the Coyote Call, and the Howling Winds. But yeah, that's a good song. But what's the chorus though, Brad? Live live and dangerous. All right. So anyway, let's go back to this because I thought. There we go. So check this out. So here we got CPI, and they still CPIW is only 27% of the population. That's the urban people who are workers. That's where they're reflecting Social Security COLAs on. So here's a Social Security COLA, and here's so this is reflecting in the third quarter of that year. So in 2015, the COLA, the CPI was down 0.4%, but Social Security COLA was up 1.7%. And then in 2016, the total change in CPI is 1%, but you didn't get a COLA because the third quarter was zero. 2017, the same thing. You got 2.1% COLA, but Social Security only got 0.3, 2.5 to 2. But look at these years. 2019, CPI was only up 1.7 for the entire year, where Social Security is up 2.8. Look at this right here, though. 2021, CPI was up 5.3, whereas COLA is only up 1.3. 2022, CPI was up 8.5, COLA is only up 5.9. 2023, though, look at that. CPI was only 3.8, COLA is 8.7. You can kind of see, if you look, actually, if you kind of do a diagonal, what Social Security COLA got was basically what the real CPI was the previous year, if you will. That's how it kind of shakes out. It's almost identical, actually, if you just kind of go this diagonal thing here. Now, what Motley Fool does, because they got to get clicks. I mean, they sell advertisements. They got to make it seem like shock retirees. We're exposing this. We're gonna, what they say, revealed, all these kind of words to get you like, oh, we're revealing a secret trick and all that stuff. But if we actually look down, you're gonna see something here. The total return for the average 2.7% for total COLAs going back to 2014, 2.7 versus 2.6. So not a huge difference. Now that did reflect about, what do they say, like $200 or something like that. It was $22 a month difference. So not really that big of a difference, frankly. And this just goes back 10 years. I can almost guarantee if you go back more than that, it'll be different too. But just not a big deal. But I mean, it's all clickbait, dude. 100%, all clickbait. Roll me over and let me go, riding free in the rodeo. Yeah, that's that dude who sung for Thin Lizzy, forgot his name. Stop clicking on anything Motley Fool a long time ago. Yeah, dude. They it's just regurgitation of a lot of stuff. High inflation helps me because COLA means I get paid more for guys living in my adult foster care home. 100%. Is that the guy's name from Thin Lizzy? Phil and not? And he like half black or something like that. Such a good voice for that kind of. Some of that Thin Lizzy stuff. It kind of bored me, frankly. But like when I took Cole to go see his band the other night, the Defiant, down in Atlanta, half the songs I don't like, and half the songs I like a lot. It's kind of like, remember the old country music? If you bought an album, 2 songs were freaking crushing, and then 8 songs sucked. You just want to kill yourself. That's how I kind of like Thin Lizzy. I'm like, some of the songs just bored me. I think I even had like a Thin Lizzy box set or something like that. I'm just like, it was like CCRs. Half the CCR songs are great, half just suck. But at least it's better than country music. Country music, half the music's, 90% of country music just sucks. Just horrible. But the 10% is good. It's great. In fact, the album, my dad, RIP, owned several commercial properties several decades ago. He said the best clause I ever put in rental was automatic annual inflation. Like, why are they year by year so much different for CPI? That's just a change in the price, energy costs. It's literally just that energy is so volatile. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of the things. Go live and Josh, go get live and from Thin Lizzy. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Well, Merle, but there's a Dwight Yoakam album. She wore red dresses with a black shiny hair. I can't remember the album's like. Every song on the album is great. I think got Buck Owens does a show there. Country music written by professionals. Yeah, she wore red dresses with a black shiny hair. That was a good album. Yeah, but even like the greatest hit albums, half the time the hits are what's just popular, which I just want to kill myself when I listen to. So Jethro Tull guitars, Martin. Hey, right now, someone just talked about Jethro Tull, like he played for the Jethro Tull band. Who was saying that? He said like Ian Anderson was like just such a friggin' like just a hard driver. Something who was just saying? I just watched this a couple months ago. Like a guy played for Jethro Tull. Talk about it was Ian Anderson's band. He said, and he was not bad. It was very interesting actually. I just said, man, I don't know. You guys like that Rick Beato stuff? I watch probably a couple times a week. I watch his videos, but it's just such a lesson in histoire. There's another guy, the rock and roll historian or something like that. A guy with a hat on and glasses. He's always advertising for Zinni glasses. What the hell's that guy named? Rock and roll. Not the rock and roll professor. Professor Rock thinks his name. I like Streets of Bakersfield. That's what it was, Joey. Yep, 100%. Oh, no way, man. Geez, another guy. Chemical addictions get the best of him. Damn. Yeah, Buenas Noches from a Lonely. Great album. Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, hell, we had Waylon Jennings. I would say, wasn't he a American Idol guy? Not American Idol, but everyone knew Waylon Jennings. That's crazy that the guy from Thin Lizzy, it's just like freaking, what's the guy's name from Soundgarden? You know what I'm saying? Chris Cornell. Oh man, my oldest son is autistic. God bless. Having special needs kids. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't want to say I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that he has a different way of life than what we're accustomed to. I'm not saying I'm sorry for his being autistic, but he has a different way of life, and it's just sad. Oh boy, they're getting outplayed already. What is happening? You can't. What's the score, Fast A? Please tell me it's still 0-0. All right, so another article I want to read here. Hey, Kim. There's Kim. How can he be getting outplayed on Game 7 at home when you're? How can that freaking happen? And there's nothing to lose. Just go out there and freaking just ass kick. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's read. I thought this was another pretty interesting article. All right, 0-0. You're pine cone hunting. That's from the BLS. So every year the BLS puts this thing out. Well, not every year, but they put out the Beyond the Numbers. A lot of fun reading this. And this is from just this month. A year review exploring consumer price trends in 2023. All items index continue to increase. So we just had a family of 4 go to Red Robin, and it cost us almost $100 for a hamburger. We don't drink alcohol. I don't drink. I drink water. You know what I'm saying? My wife eats salad. Chloe eats chicken fingers, and Liam and I both eat hamburgers. It was $100, man. It's crazy. And I didn't like the Celtics, Jill. Yeah, I was a Lakers fan back then. I hated the Celtics. Yeah, I was raised by liberals, you know what I'm saying? So I was a white ally to the blacks, if you know what I'm saying. So I always liked Doug Williams, the first black quarterback, not the first black quarterback, the first black quarterback to do anything in the playoffs. James Harris for the Rams, Doug Williams for the Bucks, and then obviously went to the Redskins. I'm 20. I used a 25% tipper. I was in the business for a number of years, Fast Eddie. So when you're in the business, you tip like a freaking mofo. I mean, but so anyway, and I've grown up in Maine, so I'm a contrarian by nature. So everybody, the Celtics, all this, and it's like, I always like the Lakers, big time. And you're from what I'm saying. So the Lakers, there's Showtime, Magic Johnson, James Worthy. It's just Michael Cooper. Jamal Wilkes, there's Norm Nixon. That's anti-Larry Bird. Anti-Larry Bird. So you guys think like, oh, I'm some big. I was left wing like you wouldn't believe back then, and I used to. I'm basically Danny Ainge hated him. Larry Bird couldn't stand him. You know what I'm saying? Kevin McHale. Even I like Kurt Rambis, obviously, but yeah, if you're going to be out, take care of the servers. I mean, the servers, they don't make any money. So, I mean, you can make money in that business. It's not an easy business, but once you're in the business, man, it's a tough gig, and you always reward people just by nature. Once you're in the business, you're going to be the strongest tip there is. That's all the shit. No, but I did not like Larry Bird. I hated the Celtics. And I remember when the Sixers were playing the Celtics, and the Sixers beat the Celtics to go on to the NBA championship, and this Boston or the Philly fans, Philly fans, those Boston fans, was saying those Boston fans, BLA. And I was like, yeah, screw you guys. And I think the Sixers beat the Lakers that year with a Moses Malone. Fo. Yeah. I didn't like him. I mean, I like Georgetown basketball. I like Georgetown. So when Georgetown was playing North Carolina, I went for Georgetown. I mean, basically, I like the teams that have the black guys. That's all there is to it. I don't like the self-service locations ask for tips. That's stupid, man. Yep, they swept them. They went fo with Moses Malone. But when you're going up to the store, like I'm going to drive to your place to pick up the food, and you want me to tip you when I'm the one driving there. It's crazy. I didn't even know. The funny thing is, I did not know the Celtics won 2 championships with Dave Cowens in the 70s. I didn't even know that. And I followed. I'm a sports back then. That's my whole life was sports. But right before Wes Unsold and the Bullets and the Sonics played again. I think they played twice. They repeated against each other. A couple years before that, Dave Cowens. Because when we went to the TD Garden, I was looking up the Raptors. I saw the Celtics Raptors. I said, wait, they won in the 70s? I did not know that. You have John Thompson from Georgetown. Yeah. I also drove out. There's these gangsters, literally, because back then crack cocaine was an epidemic in DC, and all these people were getting killed. And the crack dealers wanted to become, basically, they want to be on the Georgetown basketball bandwagon. John Thompson said, "Get the hell out of there, man! Get the hell out of there." Yeah, they're not going to stay. They're trying to go to Kansas, and your stupid governor and legislature seems like they want to get them in there, William. I was like, why are you guys paying for these people? Stop it. They're like, oh, well, we'll pay. I think in Utah, they voted for $1 billion, and in Kansas, so they're going to say the same thing. We'll give you $1 billion to move over to Kansas. What is this? And like when I lived in Phoenix, Michigan Fab Five and UNLV. Now that's when I started to change. So that's when basically when UNLV played Duke, I was totally in Duke then. You know what I'm saying? Is this a sports channel? I thought it was a financial channel. That's pretty funny, Kim. That's when I changed after that. So I was like, by then I was like, no, I'm going for Duke. The Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill and all that. UNLV had Larry Johnson. There's a point guard there. I'm drawing a blank his name. Can't remember the guy's name, man. What the hell is his name? Stacey Augmon, Larry Johnson. It's not Anderson. I can't believe Anthony. I can't remember the guy's name. And anyway, so I was by then I changed because by then I got thrown into real. Let's put even though I went to a pretty mixed high school. By then when I was in the Army, I said, wait a second, Greg Anthony, that's what it was. Yes, sir. Look at you, Kirk. Yep. By then I was like, oh, I get it. This isn't the way I was trained as a liberal from Maine. You know what I'm saying? So this is different. The real world is different than what we're trained on in Maine, if you know what I'm saying. And I said, oh, I got it now. So at that stage, it's like, man, all right, well. And then I started going for it. Now I haven't, really haven't changed that much, Frank. I'm now like, all right, so I just go for the underdog essentially at this stage. And it's fun. Iowa football, exactly. Yeah, 100%, man. There's actually a pretty interesting website called Cast Football. And there's a guy named Mike Haas, who wide receiver who won the Fred Biletnikoff Award out of Oregon State back in the early 2000s. And he really didn't get any looks in the NFL. And that guy just was like the first white receiver to just crush, since like the 70s and early 80s. And he didn't get any looks. And I remember, how's Mike Haas not getting any looks at all, man? It was crazy. Lost you for a sec? I got you. And I remember I said, this is just blatant racism. This is after Jason Sehorn kind of left as the last white cornerback. I said, this is nuts. This is pure racism. No, they don't have racism. They just want to get the best athletes. I said, bullcrap. Mike, and then he got freaking Jacob Hester, is that his name, who's a tailback for LSU, ran all over the SEC, and they forced him to be a fullback. It's crazy. With Damian Tomlinson, he blocked for, but still, I was like, why isn't Jacob Hester getting looks? Crazy. Then they had Toby Gerhart from Stanford just running all over everybody, and he got drafted in the first round, I grant you, but the last draft of the first round, to a team that already had freaking the bald guy from Minnesota, the guy, what the hell's his name? I can't. The running back for the guy, just freaking crazy good runner. I can't remember his name. I could have sworn he went to Arkansas. Anyway, so long story short, it's like this something's going on here, man. How come Toby Gerhart isn't getting any looks? It's crazy to me. Adrian Peterson. That's it. Yep, you got it, man. Adrian Peterson. And look, I'm not expecting Adrian Peterson to be replaced by Toby Gerhart. I'm like, you're telling me the only team that can draft Toby Gerhart is the Minnesota Vikings when they already got Peterson? Nah, dude, it's crazy. So fine. But anyway, so then along comes Bill Belichick, giving Wes Welker some shots, and all of a sudden now you can see white receivers all over the place. And it's like there's more white tight ends in the NFL than there's receivers. So it's starting to get back to more and more so where white guys are getting a chance. But in the 90s, and Marty Schottenheimer didn't give any white guys any chance. And from the 90s and basically to the 2000s, white guys weren't getting any shot at football. It was crazy. And everybody knows this. And people are like, no, it's not true. They just want the best. No, they don't. They don't. Anyway, so it's good to see now that a team that said, I'm going to take a chance on some of these guys And they got, they had Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, and then don't forget back in the late '90s and early 2000s, there was only Ed McCaffrey. That was it. Brandon Stokely and the guy from Ricky Prohl. That was it for white receivers who got any kind of action. No one else did. Yeah, he didn't get any looks though, man. He wasn't great in the Vikings though. He wasn't. I mean, because he was behind Adrian Peterson. He just wasn't. But anyway, so Gary, I mean, there's no way he should have gone 30th. Now, they can say, and rightly so, running backs aren't the very few running backs last many years in the NFL. I get that. But that dude just ran all over the, Pac-10. And it wasn't like he just stopped at Pac-10. It's just like he went that last pick in the draft with the team already had Adrian Peterson. It didn't make any sense. Anyway, so long story short, you're like, they had Mike Allstott, the Bucks back then, but that was it, man. You're like, you tell me in all of college football, there's not one guy can play cornerback. Not one guy. Yeah, and it's just weird now because now it's different. Now it's like every team has like one or two white tight ends. There's, like even the Falcons had two middle white linebackers. Like, wow, this is crazy. It's just weird how it just kind of ebbs and flows. But because it took a guy with guts to give a chance to some of these guys, like Belichick, you know what I'm saying? And you would think with more and more black coaches that they'd have a little bit more freedom to take a chance with undervalued white guys. I'm telling you, man, that's why the black coaches have more of in my opinion, a leeway to take a chance with more white players because they can't be accused of being racist, if that makes sense. And so we'll see, and we'll see how that shakes out. But I think there's a good opportunity for white guys who like to. I don't like to play football. I was just talking to my kids today, and my wife had said, "Yeah, I hate it. I hated getting hit. It hurt." And these guys like it. It's nuts to me. Yeah, but the offense linemen aren't all white guys anymore now because a lot of big Southern black guys, rural Southern black guys who are who eat bad. You know what I'm saying? Or are still very athletic. Like I don't even care. I just want to make sure everyone has a chance. You know what I'm saying? And if Kim says she wants a female quarterback. But by and large, like the guy from I think Notre Dame got picked like the third pick or something like that. So my brother and I always said if we had $1 billion, we'd build our team around a solid core of white offense linemen. You get a good offense lineman, and you can't be stopped. You can't be stopped. You get a good offensive line like Anthony Munoz, John Hanna. You're going to dominate everybody. It is crazy with some of these guys because I very much enjoy like the football because everyone thinks these guys are stupid. No, nothing could be further from the truth, man. At least when it comes to football, these guys have to. I mean, it's insane how fast these guys are. It's insane how fast these guys are, and I just respect these guys. Basketball is one thing, but football is a team sport, and there's this huge playbook, and you have to react on a dime. But people who are just flying to hit you I get nothing but respect for these guys. Yeah, linemen usually score highest 100%, man. Isn't that crazy? So I still enjoy it. Not gonna lie to you. I think the coaches are what kind of doomed football for a while there, and I'm actually looking forward to more and more black coaches to bring a little bit more reality here to football. And the only reason I say black coaches because I think they have the guts. I hope to challenge the status quo. I mean, I get the initial phase of black coaches because they had all the pressure on them that they want to just follow the model. They want to be conservative. You know what I'm saying? But now it's a little bit more open. Where like look at what Dan Campbell did. And I know he's white, but still, I just think I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. A woman quarterback protect a woman protect by a lot of strong muscle men. My kind of game. That's funny. Racism goes both ways. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. It's crazy. Anthony Munoz was freaking insane. Ted, that's fantastic. I'd never grow up to talk to these guys. So I feel like I don't want to be one of those hanger-on guys like Ted was. Look at D.P. Douglas. Oh my! The Lingerie Football League actually had talented players in addition to uniforms. Linemen both ways. Oh, look at Ted saying he went both ways. No, who said he went both ways? Vaughn saying he went both ways. Vaughn, you just outed yourself. Vaughn said he went both ways. I always played both ways. Oh my goodness. Vaughn was the wide receiver, if you know what I'm saying. Vaughn was the split end. Oh my goodness. You coach Yeah, no, 100%. Him and remember Tony Mandarich from the Packers, same kind of thing. That's why I hate texting. Oh man, that is too good. I'm telling you, you ever follow options? They got straddles, they got naked puts, they got covered calls, they got what else they got? They got splits. They dude, the guy who names the thing for options is a freaking perv. They got they got all these. Look up the option terminology: straddles, splits, naked, covered, all this stuff. I'm like, there's more than that too. There's a couple I can't think of. I'm like, dude, of all the things, that has got to be like some freaking porn owner or something like that. Did you know the guy who owns like Pornhub is a Jewish rabbi? Did you know that a Jewish rabbi owns Pornhub? Huh, the hell is that? Crazy. Just while I'm yapping here, another thing that pisses me off. All these libs, they say the South has the biggest obesity, the biggest violence, the biggest porn, and all this stuff, implying that the Southerners. And I'm like, huh. What else has the South have a lot that most northern towns don't? I just throw that out there to you. And I've always said these idiots from the North, like, oh, the South is so bad because it has all the obesity, all the gangbangers, all the porn. I said, Now, I'm not saying a lot of these freaking, Christian guys in the South don't look at porn. I'm not saying that. But when it comes to obesity and when it comes to freaking gang violence, why is that in the South? Oh, I wonder why. You don't have to be a you don't have to be you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Where does the crime come from? A certain group of people commit all the crimes. Not all of them, but the vast majority more so than their population size. And unfortunately, that certain group of people are also the victims of crime. We got a 4-year-old boy killed in Atlanta just not too long ago, a drive-by shooting. It was like sleeping at night. Gangbangers drove by his house and shot it. Just a freaking straight bullet because, gangbangers will shoot with their guns like this. It's stuff, dude. It's stuff. It's freaking stupid. And it's just like, and no one cares. But the minute some freaking white guy in Mississippi says Lizzo, have you all seen that video about the white frat boys calling that black chick, this black rabble rouser Lizzo? It was so funny, man. And because so now they're trying to out the guys like this is whatever his name is, Joe Schmo, go after him, like they're trying to dox a guy. And I'm like, dude, you think people are maybe people are still scared of this? I don't know. I don't think people are all that scared to be like, oh my goodness, they told it because he's calling some lady Lizzo. I thought Lizzo was beautiful. So if you call a fat black lady Lizzo, that means you're indicting her for being fat and black. I thought it says she's beautiful and brave. Anyway, it's funny. I hope you guys see that clip. It is so funny. These frat boys in University of Mississippi, this pro-Palestinian protester, you know what I'm saying, who's had everything handed to her whole life. And she's like, how dare you protest? And I'm like, she's not protesting for Palestinians. You know what she's protesting? She hates white people. And so some of these frat boys said, no, we're not going to let you tear down our flag, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, trying to dox them by videotape. And they're like, get out of here, Lizzo, Lizzo, Lizzo. It was so funny, man. Oh, I completely agree. Oh yeah, dude, skinny Latinas are freaking smoking hot. They should ban TikTok, 100%. Ban it, get it out of here, or just make it be owned by Americans. But in Texas now, I guess there's an age verification to be able to look at adult sites. That only makes sense. They should do that countrywide. I mean, again, let the states decide. But hopefully the Supreme Court will say, no, if you can't buy liquor without a thing, if you can't do these other things, ID, you need to verify yourself for porn. Just a fact. And you should be able to do that. And I still can't believe a Jewish rabbi owns Pornhub. I mean, what the hell, man? You guys are freaking nuts. All right, so let's go back to this article. I wonder how many skinny Latina chicks are knocking on Celtic Spirit's door right now. I have a sneaky suspicion not very many. Yeah, did you like in Colombia? Well, do they say are they going to have that? I mean, is that going to happen or what? I think y'all remember Rush Limbaugh when he had his bake sale. Was it Tom's bake sale or something like that? Crickets at my door or whatever said. Anyway, he had whatever his name is, Dan's bake sale, what it was. They should do that there at the University of North Carolina too. Just have all kinds of freaking patriots come. It'd be great. Never, oh, dude, yeah, Latino chicks. How dare you? My wife was a skinny Latina, 5 months pregnant. Oh boy. So here's a gringo. John Rich doesn't do it for me. I don't know. This modern country just bores me to death. There's money to be made, and if he didn't make the money, someone else would. Who are you talking about? John Rich? Is that who you're talking about? Anyway, it should be a Dan's bake sale thing. Exactly, Harry. Look at that. Latina is female. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look, talk about gringo. Look at this gringo guy here, man. Oh boy. Latino chicks. Or maybe he likes it like Latinos and Latinas. Maybe he swings both ways. You just never know. All right, so may the 4th be with you, Joey Torres. Broken Arrow. Don't get Jill going off on her music stuff, Broken Arrow. Let me guess. Broken Arrow, if you like the Beatles, Jill's your lady, because Jill thinks the Beatles are the Mac of all daddies, and we all know the Beatles suck. Everyone hates the Beatles except for Jill. The Beatles, like literally the worst music ever played known to mankind. I think I'd rather listen to Cher saying, if you believe in life after love, than hear friggin' the Beatles. 100%. Air Supply. Oh, God almighty. Oh, Can't Buy Me Love. So horrible. Oh, yeah, you guys are all boomers. The boomers are out. The boomers are out. Oh, boy. The boomers are out at night. The boomers are out at night. The boomers come out at night. Yeah, there you go, Ted. Look at that. And Ted was going to sign the Beatles. That's, he knows. He knew he was going to sign the Beatles. I just don't get the Beatles. I don't get the appeal. Ugh, horrible. All right, so let's look at this right here. I'm yapping. Like I said, there's a no holds bar live stream, which means whatever I try to really prepare anything. Normally, believe it or not, normally I come up with some stuff I want to talk about. Today I haven't done that. Normally because I was eating dinner with my family out, on a Red Robin. All right, so anyway, check this out. In 2023, all consumer prices increased 3.4%. Right, as you can see, all items in 2022, 6.5, right there. All items in 2023, 3.4. Now that's I was the first drummer. Yeah, you see, Paul gets it. Oh, Wolves are winning after 3 quarters. Yeah, they were not calling a couple fouls. I saw that. Yeah, Blacks are right on, man. Paperback Rider. Well, it depends on what version of Foreigner Journey sticks you like. If it's the 80s version, then they suck. If it's the 70s version, they crushed. That's why you got off the chain tonight. The Tax Man. Yeah, that's not a bad song. That's not a bad song. All right, let's keep going. Well, what I was going to say here is, so these indexing are on top. I mean, so you got 6.5, so then you inflate 6.5, or then you got the next year at 3.4, but it's on top of 6.5. So that's effectively more than a 10%. It's compounding. That's all there is to it. It's compounding. And then look at that increase for food and beverages. I mean, this is what's killing people. And then you get, see, the housing is what bothers me the most. Not transportation here, right here, but housing. It's the food and beverages. Housing. What bothers me the most about housing is it's not part of most retirees' CPI. which means if housing goes up a lot and that affects your CPI, your COLAs for Social Security, that's a benefit if you have no mortgage. And if you have a mortgage, it wouldn't matter because the mortgage is most likely fixed, so it doesn't matter. But I thought that was interesting that they're saying, oh, the price of goods has gone down. Well, it hasn't gone. It's just decelerated, but certainly gone up. I mean, it's just fact. And look, I'm the first guy who said that I wasn't expecting inflation to be high. I just wasn't. Like here, they're talking about decelerating rate. Okay, well, it's 2.7 increase from 2023, a 10.1% increase from 2022. I mean, that's not good. Now the index has risen at 3.1% average annual over the past 10 years. So there you go. There's a 3% inflation. And you can see right here, dairy and related products, eggs have gone down, other food at home, not cereals. I mean, so I just thought this kind of interesting actually. Then you look over here, food away from home is up. Like I said, we just laid $100 down for freaking going to Red Robin for a family of 4 for hamburgers, chicken tenders, no alcohol. Crazy. Food away from home, but look at food at home. Only up 1.3. Food away from home, 5.2. See, energy indexes decrease after 2 years of increases. And here's the biggest issue I have with this. Is that the energy is, like I always say, the energy is where everything comes from for inflation. And they're trying to ban, ICEs, internal combustion engines. I don't want to be a broken record on this because it just bores me, frankly. But when we fall for the tricks of the greens, the watermelons, they're green on the outside, but they're dark red on the end. They're commies on the end. When we fall for the tricks, that brings us scarcity because it makes the energy prices higher. And the rich people can afford it. You know what I'm saying? They take care of themselves. But the regular people, you electrify everything. It's just a freaking recipe for disaster. Hey, look at my man Liberty. Right on. Yeah, let's take a look. The magnificent. Kirk, I completely agree. Mr. Roboto should be banned. Actually, there's on Sticks. They had a very interesting YouTube video I saw that kind of talked about what the falling out. So the Dennis D. Young wanted to become more of like an opera. I guess he was like an opera guy. He wanted to be more of the opera. And Tommy Shaw and the guys just want to be hard rockers. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty interesting, actually. Same thing I heard about Van Halen, too. Daley Roth wanted to be still like a hard rocker. And Eddie Van Halen wanted to be more technical. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a Rush, more progressive. Very interesting. And, hold on a second. My daughter just said she's watching the Bruins. Oh, come on, man. I can't. The Bruins can't lose tonight. They just can't. Not again. I can't do it because when I was in high, still nothing. Okay. I was going to go to overtime. Yeah, Broadway. Yeah, exactly. I want to be a Broadway diva. What? I wouldn't do that, Harry. Self-insuring a paid off house, man. I mean, but $2,000 to $3,000 a year for homeowners insurance. Maybe not for you in Oklahoma. What's your? Just extra. All right. If your homeowners insurance is $2,000 to $3,000 a year, I don't think you should self-insure. I don't think so. But if your homeowners insurance is $15,000 a year, that's different for sure. Yeah, it always circles back to the law of food and energy, 100%, man, or fuel and energy, 100%. Yeah, I that's a risk I wouldn't want to take. Now, I guess you can make the same argument though, Harry. You can say, well, Josh, why would you not want to self-insure your home, but you're okay with self-insuring long-term care? That would be actually a good argument because you're saying long-term care. Let's just say it's twice the cost of insuring your home, for simplicity. I have the cash to buy another home in the community. That's a tough one, Harry. But let's So Jill upped her deductible on her homeowner's insurance. Saved quite a bit. Oh, the way I self-insured my house. We had a guy when we lived in New Jersey whose house caught a fire, or I can't remember, but he was trying to get his wife's wedding ring or something like that. And Allstate was giving him such a hard time, dude. Hard time. It just, I was like, dude, that just sucked. The insurance industry has been forced to use climate change and DEI to the yeah, but Van Halen with what's his name, Sammy Hagar was not hard rock. No way. That sucked. Anyway, so let's check this out. We'll say we got a $300,000 house. All right, $300,000 house. We'll just say for simplicity, it costs us $3,000 a year to insure. All right. Let's say you have, and that's provides you an insurance immediately today. Then let's just say it's going to cost you $300,000 for 2 people in long-term care, and we'll say it costs $5,000 a year. So $5,000 a year for long-term care. And I haven't run any quotes. I don't know. We'll just use that for example. All right, so we're going to say it's going to cost us in today's dollars $300,000 for nursing homes and all that stuff, and it's going to cost us $5,000 a year to insure against that risk. Versus $300,000 for our current home, and it's going to cost us $3,000 a year to insure that risk. Nursing home costs are certainly going to go up more, most likely, than the rate of housing, I would think. Now, obviously, the insurance will go up too. The price, they'll probably be the same. But I mean, I don't know. I guess one of the ways the issue is the nursing home costs are not likely, but they are more likely than your house being burned down or being hit with a tornado. So one of my arguments against this is like, yeah, but you're not likely to go to a nursing home. Well, you're also even less likely to have your house ripped out or torn up. You know what I'm saying? Part 2 would be that nursing home costs, what was I getting ready to say, are way in the future, most likely. We're talking 20 years where the risk to your house is right now, immediately. Does that make sense? So, and because the risk is here today for your home. I mean, anytime, we got trees around us, it scares the hell out of me whenever it's a heavy wind. I'm like, oh my goodness, the tree's going to fall. And usually every time we have a heavy wind, there'll be 2 or 3 houses that get cracked in the metropolitan Atlanta area because you see it on the news. That's just all we hear about. I'm always like, are we next? Are we next? So you're going to say, I'm going to self-insure here. And the reason I'm going to self-insure is because I'm not going to see any benefit of this payment for many years to come, most likely. However, the risk is still greater for me here than it is here, but yet I'm very content to not to self-insure my house. It's an interesting way you look at it. Now, another thing though is this also provides an immediate benefit called living. It gives you a roof over your head without having to pay rent and all that. So, there's no benefit at all right here. This gives you a benefit. And that's what imputed rent is, what that's called. We're saying, well, the benefit of my house is that I don't have to pay rent or mortgage for it or rent. That's a benefit. So the house gives you some utility today. The long-term care doesn't, if that makes sense. And I think Penelope says something. There's a backup. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Penelope says good point. Medicaid is a backup plan for this. Yeah, but Harry in this case says he has enough money, which he does, to buy a house if his one were to go down. Yeah. Now, with that said, my house right here. My house is $300,000 home insurance company says it's worth $405 to keep the deductible high. People got to fight for everything. No, USA is crazy too, Harry. I pay, like I said, $14,000 a year on auto insurance, and people are screaming bloody murder. Oh man, I forgot to call that guy. Damn, got to do it next week. Oh, $14,000 a year. And I have a good friend of mine who represents 25 companies. Like, yeah, that's not that. That's not that crazy. Literally, this guy has every reason to sell me a policy. He goes, yeah, it's not that crazy. He goes, let me get one of my guys to run a quote for it. I just keep forgetting to call the guy. Anyway, it's very interesting to me. So for me though, I'm just so doggone conservative is I still have comprehensive coverage in all my vehicles, and I should only have I can't remember what the other was. Not comprehensive, where I'm just liable. I forgot what it's called. So if one of my cars got totaled, see, this is the issue. I can't get my head around. If my car, let's just say my 2013 Toyota Highlander is paid, it's free and clear. It's got about 125,000 miles on it. That provides me the utility of driving me from point A to point B without worry because it's still in good shape. It's fine. We do all the basic maintenance on it. So if I did not have comprehensive coverage and that car got totaled, all right, now I got to pay for a brand new to me car. Now it wouldn't be brand new, but it'd be a new to me car. It'd be no less than $10,000, no less than $10,000 at all. So for me, for an extra couple hundred, say $500 a year, maybe even more than $1,000 a year in comprehensive coverage, which means if it got totaled, USA will give me my cash for the total of the car. That would probably cover a new car pretty doggone close for me, if that makes sense. A lot of people say, well, you don't own anything, so why even have comprehensive? Why not just have liability? That's what it is, liability. Yeah, right on pulverizer. You got it, liability. And I said, I wouldn't bank on that. Harry, you're white and you're a legal citizen. So being a white man who's legal, I wouldn't bank on FEMA giving you anything. That's 4 with 6 drivers. 4 with 6 drivers. And 2 of which are just got their licenses, teenage boys. Liability. Yeah. Well, but see, the same thing can be said about long-term care insurance too, though, Joe. Actually, I think going back to what Penelope was saying here, that there's a secondary source for long-term care, but not necessarily because you'd have to really be broke to have long-term care covered by Medicaid. But anyway, so for me, I have comprehensive just because if my car got totaled, my car that's the least valuable of them all, I would, USA is going to pay for, theoretically the fair market value. You see what I'm saying? So they'll give me $13,000. I'm just throwing that number out there. For my 2013 Toyota Highlander, and I can turn around and use that $13,000 to buy a new, to me, 2013 Toyota Camry. Just use that for example. So basically, it cost me $1,000 a year and I don't know if that's how much it is. It's probably less. We'll just use $1,000 a year to insure for that $13,000 a year that USA. That would be the cost of my automobile. So let's say my automobile is $13,000 fair market value. I'm paying $1,000 a year. So basically, to have that coverage, it wouldn't be 13 years to break even because obviously the value of that car goes down, and at some point it'll be down like to $2,000 to $3,000. And then you get rid of the comprehensive. But for me, it's kind of like as long as it has a value that's over 5 figures, then I'm going to keep my comprehensive coverage on it. The minute it drops like 2,000 or 3,000, I'm not. I'll just do liability then, because I want to make sure I'm covered for big enough if that were to happen. Hope that makes sense. It's interesting though, because you're saying, well, of that $1,000, what if I invest that money $1,000 a year for 5 years? Yeah, but even then, let's just say you have $7,000, you might not have enough to put you back in a car without taking on any more debt or going into your account or something like that. My buddy saw Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, Monster Rock, and Maine in the pouring rain. Yeah, that's Maine for you. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Biden is freaking, and he's like, I'm middle class Joe. Many people who own their homes going without homeowners insurance. Are you saying that, or are you ask? I don't know that to be true or not. That's interesting. Is that where you're hearing Broken Arrow? Many people who own their homes going out with homeowners insurance. Truly has to be scheduled in the policy. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think we have $10,000 deductible. Yeah, and I remember when I was at USA, we had a guy. I'll never forget this guy. He was being pissy to me. I was like, why are you so angry? He was, I've been with USA for 40 years and they just jacked up my auto insurance. I said, really? And, I said, it was weird. Let me just get some drink. I said, why? He goes, I don't know. They said I filed too many claims. So I called the back office to say, why'd you jack up this guy's auto insurance? You had like $1 million for this and stuff. He goes, because he keeps filing claims. I said, what's he filing claims for? They said he filed a claim for like his back screen, the back screen door, like broke, and he wanted he had a nice one, like $3,000 or $4,000. Oops. He said he wanted USA to replace it, and USA will say, okay, we're gonna a couple, and he had like stupid stuff like that. I said, so I called him back. I said, Joey, you got 3 claims that each were just a couple $1,000 for stupid stuff. Of course they're gonna raise their premiums. Why are you doing that? Anyway, so that was when I learned. So we jacked up our deductible to $10,000 too. And we did have an issue once. So anyway, long story short, this is with USA. Well, I'm still there because we had a car get totaled. Maddie was driving it, got totaled. She got hit by some guy that should have been in jail because he's smoking weed while he's driving. And thankfully, Maddie was pretty much safe. All right, let me just double check. All right, has anyone got the score of the B's? Come on, Boston. Don't do this for me. I just can't take it. Why do I care? I'm so stupid. Come on. It's like when the Bruins were down 4-1, Game 7 against Toronto in 2000, and it was a 14. They came back and they tied it up to send it to overtime. I said, "There's no way they're going to win this game," and then they won. They won. I think that's the year they lost the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup when the Blackhawks had pulled a goalie in Game 6 in Boston. 32 seconds left, scored a goal. You're like, oh, this is going to overtime. And the Bruins, if the Bruins would have won that game, they would have won the cup because they were dominating the Blackhawks. Then, like 17 seconds later, or something like that, the Blackhawks got the Stanley Cup winning goal. I will never. I was like, we had 32 seconds to close this game to send to a Game 7. And literally like 18 seconds later, it's like we lost. I'll never. That was so painful. I guess I'm out of there. Still nothing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Nervous. My daughter's with. She's coming home tomorrow. Can't wait. Right, let's keep going here. 14. You have. No, what? Would you be? Hold on a second. Would you be? Oops. 1 second. Would you be if the Cats were playing? So I took my daughter to go see the Bruins and the Habs in the Winter Classic in 2016 or something like that. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, maybe, okay. Brad says I have 3 houses. They're mansions, Brad says. 2 cars, boat. Hockey is so much better in person. I have 3 houses, mansions. Brad's got 3 mansions, 2 cars. They're Bentleys, boat. It's like a yacht, a jet ski, motorcycle. And our total insurance is only $3,800. Glad I live in Ohio, Indiana, where the insurance is still reasonable. You have kids on there? Probably not. I've never had a car totaled that was my fault ever. I got a speeding ticket 3 years ago. I hadn't had a speeding ticket in probably 20 years because I remember the last speeding ticket I got was in Arizona when Matt was just a babe. Botini, I went. No, I'm not. No, hell no. I'm not dropping that until my kids are off 100%. Oh, look at Liberty. I drive older cars. They're all paid for, and I maintain them myself. New cars are a loser. Okay, Liberty. I maintain them myself because I'm so smart. Oh boy. I pay $9 for 4 drivers, 3 cars. I have a collision, all the cars, 2004, 2012, and 2021. Yeah. We got 4 cars. The craziest thing, see, this is where I know that I have 3 daughters with. I tell you, man, I don't. I was driving a couple of months ago, probably about a year ago, and this girl just totally cut in front of this guy. She turned left right in front of him, and she's like she'd be alive, to be honest with you. And she was responsible for two of these cars. I think girl drivers are just as bad. I mean, obviously, I don't have the actuarial basis to state that. But I was literally right behind her. I saw her. I said, she's going to turn. She's going to turn. I said, what is she doing? And sure enough, she did. I could not believe it. And I got out. And I helped her because she was just like in a panic mode. I said, this, and it was sad. But I was like, well, I didn't ask her. That's stupid. I was like, I could not believe she just turned in front of me. Anyway, so we sat there, filed a police report, all that. The dad came by, and the dad's like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I was like, ugh. And he's like, she just doesn't. I was like, man, that's crazy. Well, gap insurance is when you own the loan. You have a loan on the car. Brad doesn't know what the Winter Classic is? Time to leave him. My daughter's boyfriend doesn't know what the Winter Classic is because he's a Georgia boy from Louisiana. And I said, time to leave him. LSU, do LSU friggin'. He went to Georgia. That's where they met, LSU. But he went to Georgia Tech. That's where they met my daughter. But his parents went to LSU. And let me tell you, LSU. It's like, oh. Anyway, so gap insurance is what happens when you buy a loan. So you take a loan for $30,000, and then the car gets totaled because it depreciates in value for $14,000, and the gap insurance will make up the hole on the loan. But you still got to come up with the money to buy a new car, though. That's the issue. All right, see you, man. Insurance has definitely experienced inflation. I drive like a granny, but still drop 18 for my Subi. Yeah. Celtic Spirit has a Subi. Shocking. Remember, Celtic Spirit says he loves skinny Latina girls. I said, how many are knocking at your door? Nobody, crickets. And he's driving a Subaru, and he's in Connecticut. Do you really think Celtic Spirit likes skinny Latinas? Do you really think maybe Celtic Spirit isn't really a guy? Just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? He drives a Subaru. My man says I pay $1,500 for an umbrella policy. What? You pay $1,500 for an umbrella policy? Nah, that's crazy. What? $1,500 a year for an? I've never heard of an umbrella policy that expensive. That's nuts. Well, of course you do, Brian. Because if you don't agree with me 100%, you're banned. All right, we don't move to Florida because they weren't covering people in Delaware. I don't know if they are now, but I had a doctor who's moved from PA to Delaware. And he had a freaking house that he was buying this house because Delaware is quite cheap, actually. And USA wouldn't cover him. I mean, this like probably 15 years ago. I remember saying, what? Delaware? Because it's an ocean state or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? On the ocean. I was like, I mean, I get that, but I was like, he's not like sitting on the beach. He's inland. Would cover him. Yeah. 100%. Auto insurance and property tax again, or homeowners insurance. Excuse me. I own my home and dropped my insurance. Ford insurance, it is out of control. Yeah. I'm not telling anyone to have a house fire, but help me start a business. Thanks. Morgan, they're everywhere, dude. You should see them up here. Horrible. It's not just them; it's everybody. It's crazy. Montlick, 1-800-call Ken. John Foy, the strong arm. Hearing, I get Florida. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, they're leaving California too, man. 100%, and not just for homeowners. They're leaving California. State Farm is leaving California for even property and casualty. Isn't that crazy? Jill says, Josh, you're paying for 6 years of my long-term care and 1 year of car insurance. Yeah, that's it is crazy. Yep, 100%. So there's Ted. Ted's not even a native of New England, even though he lives in Maine now. But he knows that this is Boston's way, 100%. The Red Sox. The Red Sox were up 3-2 against the Mets in 1986. Couldn't seal the deal. Calvin Schiraldi, Bob Stanley Could not steal the deal. My favorite brood of all time. Oh, it's got to be Bergeron. I mean, playing with a broken rib, freaking Patrice Bergeron crushes. Still like Cam Neely, Bergeron though. I mean, that's the thing is, growing up, we didn't have TV, so I couldn't like follow the Bruins like you would like when we moved to DC area, home team sports, and they had the caps on every game. So by then, it's like the mid '80s. We had HT. We didn't. Did we have HTS? I think we did. Yeah, my junior and senior year, we had HTS. So I saw all the Caps games, the Orioles games, the Bullets. So I got to know their players. So that was fun. But the Bees, Nesson, we didn't have Nesson. I never had Nesson growing up. I just remember some of my wealthier friends, I thought were wealthy. They had cable, and they'd have New England Sports Network, and Nesson, the Bruins would be on and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But I didn't watch hardly any games. When we first got cable, it was like in 1984, and the Maine Mariners were playing the Adirondack Red Wings, I think, in the Calder Cup Championship. And they televised that for local Maine residents and cable. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So the Maine Mariners won the Calder Cup, and I remember that was like that was just fantastic. Well, the thing that pissed me off about the auto insurance is going up so high. They're all like, "Oh, well, we have to," but yet they're freaking advertising. Oh, we got Gronk. What Gronk? We got freaking Andy Reid. Freaking Travis Kelce. What's the other guy's name? Patrick Mahomes, Caitlin Clark. Freaking all these guys. Chris Paul. See, I don't get this, man. How can you pay all these big wigs and then see? It's just not right. How can you freaking pay? It's kind of like with the Spotify. All these bands on Spotify aren't getting crap, and yet Joe Rogan gets $100 million. What the hell is that about, dude? What's a free market? It's not a free market in car insurance. You have to have car insurance. It's just a fact. Yeah, the whole thing's just it's fascist, man. Oh, fascist. It is fascist. It's big government telling big business how to dance, and big business says we'll dance, and big government says we'll let you make money. It's crazy. How the hell USA? It's not just one insurance company; it's all of them. At least with Progressive and Geico, they don't have these freaking multi-billion superstars. Rebork. Got to win a cup, though, man. Patrice won a cup. Are you from up that way, Brian? Where are you from? Ford's insurance to the roof because law makes it so easy to sue insurance companies. Basically, the lawyers are free to sue and take care of the settlement, and then they pay the Democrat politicians. And don't forget, they'll make the roof. They always, every time it hails, there'll be insurance guys knocking door to door. Hey, we can replace your roof and build an insurance company for it. But with that said, I'm not all that sympathetic on insurance companies either. When I see them paying Patrick Mahomes, I mean, like there's like three main commercials: trial lawyers, vaccine companies, and auto and insurance companies. They wouldn't be doing it if they were operating with very razor thin margins. They wouldn't be. It's like you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh my goodness, we're at razor thin margins as you're paying Patrick Mahomes $1 million. That's insane. Nah, it's such a freaking scam. Yeah. Car repairs, absolutely, because that's a service. And if you look at my book, Relax and Retire, I show you the difference in inflation, services versus goods. Goods basically leveled off. It hasn't gone up at all. It's the services that have. Because you can't outsource services. You can't outsource auto mechanics. You can't outsource HVAC guys. You can outsource goods manufacturing, where you can buy goods that are made in China for $1 a day. You see what I'm saying? But you can't outsource guys that come to your house and do the service of it. I've never noticed raising deductible make that much of a difference. Just dropping collision coverage never. Yeah, I kind of think the same. EVs are making car insurance higher. Yeah, that's right. You're going to definitely more likely to destroy your car than your house is. So it's long-term care, your car, your body, and then your house for sure. Yeah, just be careful with Jiffy Lube. My roommate in college had this old GTO or something like that he took care of like a baby. And for some reason, he went to Jiffy Lube. I can't remember why he changed the oil there. Because he wouldn't have done that. For some reason, he just needed it done fast. I can't remember why. and they didn't replenish the oil. They just gave it to him without having any oil, and it burned the engine. That's what he said. That's just what he told me. I don't know that to be true, but I have no reason to think he'd be lying to me. So anyway, we drove off the lot. They forgot they took out the old oil, but they didn't add any back. Not beer. This is initially I kind of like this. Now I kind of don't. It has a weird taste to it. It's sparkling mineral water. On paper, I look like I'm 57 flavors, but straight as an arrow. Joke, yeah, that guy crazy. What's going on with the Nuggets game? Are they coming back? Yeah, 100%, Brian. Gap insurance for people that buy cars they can't afford. So I used to be the branch manager at a credit union, and I actually could approve my own loans, which was stupid because you're somewhat incentivized to grow the book, if that makes sense. Remember, on a bank, your profit margins are net interest income. That's where the profit margins come. How much money you're loaning out versus how much does it cost you to secure the debt, to secure the money in which to loan out. So there's a perverse incentive to make loans. That's just all there is to it. And so I would, people, I had literally, it wasn't me. It's just that we had deal arrangements with floor plans with used car lots, a very, very risky endeavor. So all the local used car lots on their floor plans just means the cars they had on the lot. They'd all send them their customers to us for lending, and we were pretty liberal on the lending procedure. Basically, if you could fog a mirror, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And so I'd have these guys who are so far upside down and try to work out a loan. And I was like, why are you buying a new car, man? He goes, well, I was like, this is 20 odd years ago. I said, why don't you stick with what you got? I want to show my girlfriend. I say, but you're not. Yeah, but anyway, so long story short, you approve the loan, but you sell them gap insurance. You say, look, you're so far upside down. If this got totaled, you're going to be on the hook for the $30,000, right? And we're only going to give you $12,000, whatever it was. I can't remember. See what I'm saying? And I said, so we'll sell you gap coverage. And I got paid like $25 per gap thing I sold, something like that. It was crazy, man. I said, this doesn't make any sense. Like, because you're incentivized to sell the gap insurance. And they would pay you like literally a commission of X, Y, and Z. And you have to just say, look, you have to disclose it. Say, I just want you to know I get paid on this $25. You buy it, $25 goes to my pocket. Don't buy it or do it. I'd make the pitch and say, here's what happens. One second. All right. One second. So what's going to happen is I'll go to bed tonight and I'll sit there at 3 a.m. I'll have to wake up and go to the bathroom and say, don't check the score. Wait till you get up. Don't check the score. And I'll check the score. The Bruins would have lost. And I'll be like, oh, should have checked the score. Minnesota versus Chicago a few years back when the NHL allowed the Wild to wear the old North Star jerseys were friggin' what, man, isn't that crazy? Like seeing those old uniforms, it does, man. It's like an emotional thing. It's nuts. When I see the old Pat the Patriot, it just makes me happy. It's crazy. The old Minnesota, the freaking Dallas Stars should have been called the Dallas Lone Stars, and they should have kept the North Stars jersey, except with the N should have been a D. That same green and yellow color. The Dallas Lone Stars. That's such iconic. They went to Dallas Stars. Wow. The Philadelphia Stars from the USFL. The Stars. Wow, that's great. The Dallas Lone Stars, man. It kept that iconic North Star jersey with the green, the yellow, and the N with it looked like the Navy thing. Oh, it's classic. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying too. Yeah, they want market share, but they're freaking paying all these guys. You can't have market share when you're raising your fees. You're not underwriting. It's insane. Oh yeah, they doped him up for sure, man. All right, pull from high risk ETFs during retirement. Well, So what you should look at my bucket strategy. All right, you should look at my bucket strategy, Rick Redfern. We take stocks and cash, or so you could do stocks and bonds. The Limu Emu has a great agent. Yeah, that guy too. But at least he's not a famous rock star. So you got cash and stocks, or cash and stocks and bonds. Well, so stocks go up, you pull your money from that side. It's literally just that simple. Stocks go down, you pull your money from cash. And it's literally just that simple. So you got 4 years of cash over here, and the rest in stocks or stocks and bonds. If this side of the equation goes up, you pull your assets from up here. If this side of the equation goes down, you pull from here. That's the barbell. It works like a charm. I can't guarantee anything, but it works like a charm. Best hockey is the beer leagues in Saskatchewan, especially since I played in them. Yeah, we're going to Calgary this year, dude. I can't wait. We're going to go see the Calgary Stampeders. I've never been to Calgary. I've always wanted to go to Calgary my whole life. We're going to go and we're going to see the CFL. I'm freaking so stoked to go see the CFL. I cannot wait. Brian, you're from Wisconsin? Right on. Take a good look at the insurance company CEO side. Oh, Bulls are winning. That's crazy, man. Yeah, Denver. They should have lost to the. They should have lost to the Lakers, man. As I said anything good, pretty much everything out of my mouth is good. Josh did say hockey's. Yeah. Whoa! The CEO of State Farm makes $24 million. Jill raised her premium or deductible from to $3,000. Yeah, exactly. Jill has dropped her coverage by $400 a year. Yeah, why would you ever turn a claim for $400 or for $1,000? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, that just literally doesn't make sense. You're like, why would just that's where you got your emergency account. Mountain bike prices are deflationary. Oh man, yeah, good point. Yeah, Hockey Live is fantastic. Ted's not a fan of female topless boxing. Clowns on the left and jokers on the right, and the common person stuck in the middle. Yeah, it's two wings of the same bird, man. Yeah, exactly. I saw that Medal of Freedom he gave to Kerry Gore, some other clown. I was like, dude, this is so stupid, man. Yeah. No holds barred. I guess I can post what I want to then. 100%, man. You want to buy a fourplex typo in California? Oof. I went to a boxing match and a hockey game broke out. Never heard that before. First time anyone's ever said that one. No one's ever. I got 38 people on Twitter right now. Are you kidding me? Did I start bashing some people on Twitter today? Their stupidity is fun. Actually, Twitter's kind of fun. I'm not going to lie to you. Start bashing them, say, oh no, they offended Lizzo in University of Mississippi. Oh no, people say, oh, you racist piece of crap. Oh, you're just a knuckle dragger. I said, oh, are you offended? I'm sorry. I said, and remember, they were telling us about white fragility all these years. Oh my goodness, white fragility. I said, but who's so offended by these frat boys calling us fat black lady Lizzo? Oh my goodness, her feelings are so hurt. Meanwhile, as Jason Whitlock said, in Memphis or something like that, 2 young blacks got killed, murdered again, gang drive-by shootings, and they killed 2 young black kids, and not a damn word by the freaking the pro-Palestinian mob. And they don't care about black lives. It's all fake. But if they can blame some white kid for, he made monkey noises. Oh my God, let's dox him and send black guys out to his house. The whole thing's stupid. You're like, dude, you're so clowns. It's not even black guys doing it. It's just these rich liberal white women, man. Like, oh, and there was one lady, she's like, bah. I was like, how dare you? I was like, oh. Yeah, wake me up when you guys say anything about 2 4-year-old black kids or something that who get shot by black gangbangers, and then we can talk. Until you start griping about that, I don't want to hear anything about some white kid who just happened to make Lizzo feel uncomfortable. Wouldn't it hurt her feelings? I find it funny too. White fragility. Whites aren't fragile. We've been hearing this stuff for decades. Trust me. we are friggin' the least fragile people there are. We can take it. We're like, "Look, you've been hating white people for as long as I've been alive. Doesn't bother me." And but I'll call you racist. That might have worked 35 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. I mean, I hope it doesn't work on white people anymore. Please, my goodness, dude. They've been calling us racist since you've been walking the earth. Don't let it say, whatever. Okay. What next? I mean, come on, man. You can say you're going to have the ADL say I'm anti-Semitic. Wow, the ADL calls me anti-Semitic, and the NAACP calls it racist. Whoa, oh my goodness, it's crazy. I'll never show my face again. The Black Hawk. Yeah, just went out for a second. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, exactly. You have to love people get offended on behalf of others. Exactly. Lizzo's some big fat lady who I don't I just know she's big and fat and she's body shaming. She is or fat, body proud. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Like you can't shame her because she is who she is. I don't even know what you call it. All right, man. When I went off there, I just lost all the people on Twitter. Am I not back on Twitter? I'm not sure what's going on there. That's weird. Wait, that guy was let out again. He's let out after he killed her? No, no, no. He's still in jail. And Jill, he can't be let out, is he? No, he can't be back and he can't be out. No way. No, that was me. No, it wasn't YouTube. I went back. I meant to go up to see the comments. I went back instead. Oh, man, the Wolves won. In Connecticut, an owner can register. Oh, man, that's freaking awesome. I'd do that. Yep, no holds barred, but that's right, Jill. But Broken Arrow got banned for saying "May the Fourth be with you," and anyone else who says that would be banned too. Absolutely. All right, there's no way that guy's out. I mean, no way. Yeah, that's Amar makes a good point here. Says a good idea to cover 40 to 60% of expenses by annuities. What about doing the same with interest income from a very diverse bond fund? Well, not remember what happened to bonds last year or 2022. That's the issue. The prices went so far down, the worst we've ever seen ever. Your coupon didn't go down, but the prices did. Could you have handled that? Where annuities have no downside risk. If you know, you know. That's what that means. Yeah, exactly. Lizzo's entourage, all secure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's freaking disgusting. Disgusting, man. I like Dave's Ramsey's arbitrage video. I'm not sure what that is. You notice that the Palestinian protests at colleges are now ceasefire proposed by Israel for Gaza. Hamas has a week to accept it. Look at Q humor. Who knows who Tony? Yeah, I remember that guy. Yep, Tony Timpa. He got killed. Memory serves in Houston by the cops. Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. Dave Ramsey? I'm still playing the beer league against kids that went to school with my girls. I'd punish them, man. I let Wellington worry about rebalancing. Yeah, I completely agree. Now, the only drawback with Kim here is VTI, or 70% of VTI is VOO. So, that's a lot of duplicate. Nothing wrong with that, but just a lot of duplication there. I just got to keep that in mind. You don't need VOO if you have VTI. Is what I'm saying. I mean, glad to see Josh using the whiteboard was a typo. Yeah, I still like Wellington. Denise, Denise did a kind of a breakdown that they hadn't changed anything. So good. I just think they're virtue signaling for sure. The magnificent. What do I think about? Oh, we're not talking about that. I thought we did. Yeah, I don't invest in. I mean, I have a couple individual stocks, Kirk. I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, frankly, I just invest in the VOO or VTI. I mean, right now the Magnificent Seven is like 30% of the VTI, or at least VOO. That's the S&P 500 index. So I would just stay with that. I think Broken Arrow banned me. Yeah, 100%. Exactly. He got me back. Yeah, you can get some DWO for emerging markets. Exactly. Yeah. What's my thoughts on D? I don't know who that is. 3 years monthly treasuries, 3 years. Yeah, I got no qualm with that. What's my 3 years 3 years treasuries, 3 years Wellington, the rest in BTI? No problem at all. 100%. How dare you, John? How freaking dare you? John, you're banned right now. You're banned for saying this right here. My ACA premium for New Jersey is $900 a month. How can California be cheaper? It depends on your income. That's why. So, yeah. So you must be making some money. So Paul, everyone should be nice to Paul Francis. He's making the bank. Paul Francis. Any merit in target date funds? Yeah, I like target date funds. Look, I just think you keep it simple is the way to go, man. Target date funds. The thing about target date funds, you don't have to do anything. It's just you let it set it and forget it. I just think people spend way too much time on this stuff. I really do. I just wish people wouldn't, frankly. They're always chasing a better mousetrap, and there's no better mousetrap. It's just not, and there never will be. I mean, and I talk about. Did I talk about this book? Well, I talked about it in my course. I did. I thought I was going to write a book on that, but I didn't. It just kind of bored me, to be honest with you. But I mean, you just don't know who the next, freaking Peter Lynch is going to be, or Bill Danoff. He runs the Fidelity Contra Fund, and is he going to continue to be the Bill? You just don't know. But we know for a fact, as I said a million times a Sunday, that the market is literally the average of all investors out there. All right, so you got all these investors out there, point, where they're all over the place. So here's all the investors out there. The market is simply right there. Is the average of them all, right? But those investors now, if they're going to manage your money, they charge you a fee. All right, so the fee pulls everybody to this side, to the left, the other way, this way right here, to the left. So what was once a guy who's beating the market is now underperforming the market. And so even a guy who was beating the market handily is now beating it less handily, simply because it's the fees. It's a mathematical fact, almost like that the U.S. went to the moon. It's mathematical because human beings can travel 25,000 miles an hour in a contraption that looks like a meth head's fort, a meth head's tree fort. Human beings can travel 25,000 miles an hour, no problem at all. And it wasn't steady either. It's like they're going a little bit. They want one, then one. Like, oh, that's weird. No, it happened though. We got pictures. So anyway, so I think people spend so much time and energy trying to beat this market. Like, why? Even if you beat it by 20 basis points, who gives a crap, dude? You think you're going to consistently do that? It's just there's no evidence that you can. So I'm like, all right. So if you can't beat it, you join it. All right. So once you join it, you're like, now what am I doing? Well, should I do? I don't know, 60% in large cap, 40% in small cap, some international, all this. It's just, I don't know. I mean, frankly, I don't. I just say you buy the market and be done with it. Or you buy the market, a little bit bonds, and that's what target date fund. Or you want to be more diversified, that's fine too. And just be done with it. Spend your time now, just doing other things other than worrying about investing. Because investing is, and other people say the market's too frothy, the market's this. and I think it's Keynes, John Maynard Keynes, that said, yeah, I'm sure his name. He said the market can be irrational longer than you can be solvent. So as long as the market is irrational, you're like, yeah, man, the market. Well, then next thing you know, you're bankrupt. The market then decides to be rational, but rational according to who? And there's just study after study. It says there's monkeys throwing darts at stock charts do better than the average investor. You just don't know. Everyone thinks, well, there is people that know who. Warren Buffett, right? Well, once Warren Buffett has certainly almost we call economy of scale, do you not think that he's kind of dictating the market? You know what I'm saying? When everyone says Warren Buffett's doing X, Y, Z, people start following him. So in some way, he's front running essentially. Warren Buffett is. Then you got people again. You just don't know who the next guy. I mean, who's that chick? Kathy something, whatever that chick's name is. Kathy, the glasses lady with ARC. I mean, one minute she's good, the next minute she's not good. The next, what's Bitcoin do? I haven't seen Bitcoin for a while. Last I saw was like 65 or something like that. I'm just curious. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. BTC. Oh, it's at 62. Oh, it jumped up. What the hell? That's weird. So Bitcoin jumped. That's definitely going to be a currency. I just look. I'm not. That's Bitcoin the last month. 72 down to 58 or something like that, up to 64 or something like that. That's Kathy Woods. That's what it was. That's not a currency. That's not a currency. It's not. This whole idea that Bitcoin is going to replace a dollar is so freaking stupid. Part two of that, the whole idea that the American government would allow their printing to be replaced by Bitcoin is so freaking stupid. Never mind the electricity that it costs and all that stuff. Now, the only argument you can make about Bitcoin is that it is a store of value because it's a limited amount that they can find. Okay, well, so if that inherently makes it going to be more valuable in the future, then what are you doing? Then you're paying the you're engaging in the greater fool theory. You're saying, I own Bitcoin because it'll be worth more in the future. Inherently, that makes it not a currency. That makes it not a currency. So can we stop this idea that Bitcoin is a currency? It's just simply not. If you own it for the fact that you think it's going to be traded at a higher value and you can profit in the future, that inherently means it's the exact opposite of a currency. It means it literally is not a currency. So stop this Bitcoin as a currency thing. Now you can say, because there's a limited amount of number, that it'll be worth more in the future. Well, again, we'll go back to the greater fool theory. I buy it at 64 with a hope of someone buying it from me at a higher date. That's it. You're saying, I hope someone buys it from me at a higher date. You can make the same argument about non-dividend paying stocks, by the way. You can absolutely make that same argument. That's another thing about stocks, why I like dividends, because dividends give you cold, hard cash. But on top of that, those stocks are literally companies that you engage with financially. You say, I'm going to go buy this freaking thing from Costco. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Costco pays a dividend or not. I don't know. But I mean, I'm going to buy this marker from whatever this company's called, Dry Erase, whatever it is. They produce something that I buy. They employ people. They do all this stuff. Bitcoin doesn't do anything like that. It just doesn't. So the store of value argument is only so valid as there is someone who's going to pay more than what I paid for it. That's it. All right. So then if it goes down, you're like, well, it's going to go back up because it's a store of value. Then why did it go down to begin with? It's just the whole thing's so stupid, man. I just don't understand it. But I mean, that's fine. People can say, Bitcoin, you don't get it. You got to read the Hitoshis, where the hell the guy's name is, paper. Anyway, I don't care. People do whatever the hell they want to do on it. I don't care. But the idea that Bitcoin is just like, that's the magical way to look at the future of how things are going to be different. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. And what I get, but so Kathy Woods, whoever Kathy Woods is, the next Kathy Woods, or we don't like Kathy Woods, it changes on, the one thing that doesn't change is what I just said. The market is always the average of all the investors. The market will forever be the gross average of all participants in the market. That's what it always will be, the average of all participants. When you factor fees that these participants pay, everything moves to the left. Things that were average, were matching the market, are now less than the market factoring fees. They can get it if they want. I mean, I've had a couple of clients that made big backs on Bitcoin. And some of these guys will compare it to Apple. And I'd say, yeah, but Apple produces something. This MacBook is an Apple. This phone's an Apple. I mean, Apple actually does something. Bitcoin doesn't do anything. I never made money buying Cathie Wood stuff. No, I don't think that's true. I think many people remember the Dutch tulip craze. I mean, they've heard about it. I don't think, I think Bitcoin people say, but that's not us because, again, why is that not you? And we just proved that it's not a currency. It just literally is not a currency. So why is that not? I mean, if Bitcoin becomes a currency, inherently there's no store of value. That's another thing that drives you up the wall too. Is like if you're trading it on a regular basis, right? And these are competing entities here. A store of value that's going to grow in value as grow in value as it's being traded right now. The trading of it means it flattens. The value doesn't go up. Why? Because if it takes me one Bitcoin to buy a cup of coffee, right? And then I think that Bitcoin will buy me 2 cups of coffee in the future, I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin to buy a cup of coffee. That makes no sense. Literally, that's how it works. I use $1 to buy a cup of coffee because I know the dollar is inherently losing value relative to what that cup of coffee is. That's what the inflation that the Fed produces, which actually increases the currency. What happened in the Great Depression, there was no currency transacting because the value of the dollar was growing in value. We had a lesson of the money supply. So the dollar inherently was going in value. So people were hoarding the dollars, which made what? It led to deflation. So what do? We're going to start printing money. Go to war that we didn't have to go into, that we should never gone into. Go to war. We should never nuked, if we even did, Japan, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. And I doubt that we actually did that. I think we firebombed them, just like we did Dresden, but I don't think we actually nuked them. I don't think that's true. But be that as it may, what we did is we said we got to make sure people do not hoard. That's why they got rid of gold. They made it illegal to hoard gold. They wanted these things being traded, not hoarded. So if it costs me 1 Bitcoin to buy a cup of coffee, and I think in the future, 1 Bitcoin will buy me 2 cups of coffee, do I then use my Bitcoin to buy 1 cup of coffee? No. So it's not a currency. It's not. It doesn't float a currency. There's a river that flows. Bitcoin won't do that. So the only other thing is I'm going to hold it until I need it, and I can sell it for 2. Okay. Well, if everybody does that, there's no transactions, no trades, and it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, which is to be a currency. Yeah, it doesn't literally. And then the idea of the government, what all comes down to the power that Congress has, the taxing authority, the power that the federal government has, the ability to print money. Anyone who thinks the federal government is going to get rid of that ability to print money is just freaking crazy. They're not just going to say, yeah, Bitcoin, you guys take over. We're good. We'll see you. We're going. All right, my friends. Oh, yeah. But just because it was unforgettable fire doesn't mean there is a hydrogen bomb that went with it, if that makes sense. Because Dresden had unforgettable fire too, as did Tokyo. In fact, if memory serves, the biggest bomb, the biggest top 20 cities bomb, Japanese cities bombed in WW2. I saw this right here. There's a list of the top cities that were firebombed. Yeah, right here. Check this out. So you think, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were amongst the most destroyed cities. Tokyo, 51% of Tokyo was destroyed, equivalent to New York City. Yokohama, 58% was destroyed, the equivalent of Cleveland, Ohio. You gotta go all the way down. Kobe, 55% was destroyed, equivalent of Baltimore, Maryland. You gotta go all the way down. Kagoshima, 63% destroyed, the equivalent of Richmond, Virginia. All the way down. Where you can find, let's see if we can't find it. They missed by Naga. 19 of them. 1 second. Let's go boink, 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 boink. Right there. Nagasaki, the equivalent of Akron, Ohio, the equivalent of Seattle, Washington. But even those cities weren't nearly as destroyed as Tokyo, all these other cities as well. Not nearly. Isn't that crazy? Because notice they don't say how much of it was destroyed. Very interesting. Very interesting. So the atomic bomb Yeah, 100%. They killed a lot of people they didn't have to kill. I think that's a fact. And we know that the Russians, the Japanese had already surrendered. The Russians were on the border, ready to go at it. And the U.S. said, we got to do this with our fake hydrogen bombs to basically scare people straight, essentially. And it worked, man. I heard it. It worked. Yep. I can get out of here myself. All right. God bless, guys. Poor Anaheim chicks, anime chicks. Yeah. I heard Josh, you, me, X that with rum. I heard Josh, you, me, X that with rum. Okay. Yeah. Kurt LeMay said straight up that U.S. had lost where he'd be up 100%. And then what's his name got tried and killed as a war criminal. Who's the general there? Pulverizer, you know what I'm talking about. The general got killed in a one of those freaking generals got killed in a road accident or something like that. Who the hell was that? One of those generals got killed in a traffic accident. Patton, that's what it was. Patton, yep, right there. Patton, yep. Nothing weird about that. Take care of my mayonnaise monkeys. Oh boy. Nothing weird about old George Patton getting killed. Patton Mannheim. Mannheim Steamroller. All right, God bless, guys. And as you'll see me tomorrow, I'll be depressed because the Bruins will have lost. I can almost guarantee. Let's just take one quick gander at scores. And I'm saying it's 2-1 Toronto. Let's see. I can't believe this is happening. Nope, nothing. 6:19 left in the. Oh, my goodness. Why do I care? It still makes me nervous. God bless. We'll see you. Oh, by the way, Monday, just real quick, at 8 o'clock, Craig Israelson's coming back on. The Unbreakable Retirement Plan. Craig Israelson, he'll be back on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. He's open to take questions again. He's a professor over there at some school in Utah. Just crushes. He's got, some of y'all might have software. So I'm very much looking forward to Craig Israelson coming back on. So watch what, Jill? Watch the game? I can't watch it. I don't have enough in me to watch. Because Jill literally just makes me like freak out. It's I just can't take it. It's weird. I don't have the ability, man. Like I can't watch Liam play tennis. I can't watch, when Kevin would. Well, I actually could watch him run. I used to get so pissed when I used to love watching Chloe play lacrosse because she had natural ability, but she wasn't part of the cliquey, lacrosse girl group. She didn't hang out with those kids coming up. They're all like cute blonde girls and stuff, and they all go to the same camps and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with the kids, but there's this clique in lacrosse down here in the South, and Chloe wasn't part of that, but she had a natural talent. She was pretty good. Anyway, and the coach would put her in, but not very effectively, if that makes sense. Like wouldn't let her use. I used to sit there and say, because she was so much better than some of the other kids. I know every dad says that, but trust me. I used to sit there in the stands and get so infuriated because these girls would drop the ball, and it's just like they couldn't. I was like, Chloe was just good. And I was sitting there thinking, man, this is a rich kid sport, and if you're not rich, you're not getting involved, and you're not getting playing time. I used to just sit there just steaming in the stands. Like I cannot believe this coach isn't. Chloe had us one. She ran the whole length of the field, freaking deked the goalie, got a goal like our first game, and the coach took her out because she didn't pass. I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. I said, and I was like so mad. I was like pissed. I just can't. Yeah, but by the way, so we're at Red Robin. I noticed, and I've always said, girls volleyball. It always had this sexual appeal. The girls, their tight shorts, like basically you can see the butt cheeks and all that. And I always said, this is nothing but a way to get men to watch. There's no other way around this because there's no way those girls need to be in those shorts. When I Red Robin tonight, I saw they had a game of the boys playing, college UCLA against Long Beach. They all had baggy shorts on, looked like they're basketball players. I said, this is what I'm talking about. The girls it's just nothing but to get eyes on them. I hate that, dude. I hate it about our culture that says if girls want to have any kind of eyes on them, they got to show some skin, if that makes sense. Yeah, well, cheerleaders are different, though. Cheerleaders aren't the game. Cheerleaders are there to, I get the cheerleaders thing, Celtic Spirit, but it's just they're not the show. I know they're pervs watching them. Look, I like a hot cheerleader too, but You're there for the game. But the reason college women's volleyball is because the girls wear their short shorts. I've said this for years and years and years. And we're watching the game, and Chloe's want to point it out. She goes, "Oh, those boys are playing volleyball just like they look like basketball players." And she goes, "You're right, Dad." And the same thing with girls lacrosse. They wear those skirts and stuff, and they have a lot of attractive looking ladies who play. Same thing with girls soccer. You see what I'm saying? It's just I find it offensive, to be honest with you. Like, oh, I don't like calling women's basketball the WNBA because it's all, well, you know what I'm talking about, but it's cursed male instinct. Well, women only watch if men watch. Isn't that interesting? That's what's funny. So women say, "Why are men watching football? Why are men watching this?" We want to watch it too, and then they want to take it over and make it more feminized. Yeah, I noticed that too, man. I noticed that too. I started seeing that myself. I said, I started seeing some highlights. I said the women's shorts are getting shorter too. Now in NBA they are, or basketball they are too, but not that short. I noticed that same thing. I said it's all skin show, man, 100%. I noticed that. I said, yep. They said we got to make this more sex appeal. And women can watch men with, yeah, but women don't watch sports unless men watch it. And then women want to basically women don't want to allow men to have a place for men to just watch. You know what I'm saying? So women say, "Oh, if you're watching," I mean, look, I'm being generalized here. Just don't be offensive. But at the end of the day, if men are gathering in a place, doing something that's fun, women want to say, "Hey, we want to be part of that." And then what happens is slowly but surely the women take over and becomes more feminized. Now we have women coaches, women referees, the whole thing, women announcers. Yeah, the 1970s, dude, they did, dude. I tell you, man. If you're gay, you're loving 1970s NBA basketball. You're like, woo! It's like the 2020s WNBA, if you know what I'm saying. All right, with that, I'm out of here. God bless. We'll see you guys. See you Monday with Dr. Craig Israelson.